By now, we all know that Bob Chapek is out at Disney. Bob Iger is back in as CEO, and I'll link this story here. It's from the Daily Mail. It's an archive though, but I won't go too much over the whole story because this is kind of a developing thing. There's going to be some other executives that possibly leave and stuff. There's rumors and stuff and everything. And of course, there's a rumor that Kathleen Kennedy is going to be leaving Disney after or before Indiana Jones 5 comes out. And we'll see. I mean, I've heard that so many times. I'll believe it when I see it. What I wanted to talk about though, and the reason I'm making this video is because I'm seeing people like among the YouTubers and among just people on Twitter and social media and stuff talking that like Chapek, oh, he was fired before he could get rid of the woke people, or that you know, or he's gonna do something that he was anti-woke. He was this. Like bullshit. I don't believe that for a second. Number one, he extended Kathleen Kennedy's contract just last year. Number two, he could have been making changes this time. I know he wasn't in charge, long. As it mentions here, 11 months ago was when Iger sensationally left, according to the Daily Mail and shit. But Iger could have made some changes. He could have made some things. Instead, they seem to double down even more. Now, if you want to argue that Iger is worse, hey, I'm not gonna disagree with that. Iger, because a lot of this stuff started under him, but it's continued under Chapek. Chapek did nothing to stop any of it. You're still seeing shit coming out about, from Disney about their first gay character in an animated film, even though that's literally been said 5 or 6 other times. It's just the thing that I find very odd, very strange. And I'm talking like there are prominent YouTubers saying this kind of stuff. And I do not understand it at all. That Bob Chapek was not David Zaslav coming in there and stopping this and stopping that. He didn't stop jack shit. He greenlit a bunch of stuff as well. So I really don't understand. I really don't get it. They talk here that this story is kind of old, so it hasn't been fully updated. But they're talking about how it's so surprising, it's so unbelievable, and everything. And it is kind of weird that it's not a good sign. Although you can see that the board likely wanted Chapek out, they wanted Iger in because they think he's good. Because Iger resided over the largest, in the most prominent stock prices for Disney and so on and such forth. And I hear some of it has to do with Chapek didn't do a good job with the parks, kept jacking the prices up and all that kind of stuff. And also it says here Iger's worked for Disney for more than 4 decades, with 15 of those years coming in the company's hot seat, which is now hotter than ever. That I absolutely agree with. Chapek basically got a total salary of $26 million in 2021 in order to basically be the fall guy for all of Iger's bullshit. So basically the way I look at it is Chapek took the fall, he fell on the sword for all of the bullshit that Iger started. But now Iger's under the gun. Because if he comes in and their shit continues to not do as well as it did in the past, how long is it going to be until they want to get his ass out of there? Yeah, he might have been around for 4 decades or whatever, but that doesn't really matter. Like at the end of the day, Disney is a corporation, or they're a business. They want to make as much money as possible. And they talk some about how the stock price is, and how they kind of come back up some after the whole Iger thing and stuff. And we'll see what really happens. This is going to be a while, because when you're dealing with companies this size, it always takes a long time for anything to truly happen. And you could argue that's part of the thing with Chapek, but Chapek didn't make any statements. He didn't do anything. We didn't hear any talk about, well, he stopped this project, he canceled this project, he did this, he did that. I don't give him credit for any of the Star Wars shit, because it's like Star Wars is a dying brand. Man, they were like the biggest brand in the world when Disney bought them. Episode 7 came out, still, doing really well, and it just all went to shit. And Episode 9 made half the money that Episode 7 did, which is pathetic. But anyway, I'll link this in the description box if you want to have to read it for yourself. I'm sure you probably already know all the information anyway, but I just don't get the whole Chapek was fired because he was going to be cutting a bunch of people. I don't buy it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.